it wasn't just glam and glitter on top of the pops. Sometimes there were mellotrons, fiddles, synths, and songs that really stretched the mind. Now in this video, I'm not just on top of the pops. I'm diving deeper into something a little more off the beaten track. I'm focusing on the more progressive side of music, the bands and artists who somehow found their way onto that legendary stage with sounds that didn't always quite fit the usual pop mould. This is Top of the Progs, where art rock, prog folk, synth epics, and instrumental wizardry meet that mainstream. Now we're kicking things off with East of Eden and their wildly unlikely chart success, Jigga Jig. This is an adrenaline-charged fusion of traditional Irish reels and some hard-driving rock rhythms. The kind of thing you'd expect at perhaps a folk festival, not on primetime BBC. The violin absolutely leads the charge here, dancing over electric guitars in quite a feverish instrumental that really defined every chart convention going. But yet in 1970, this rogue track somehow climbed into the UK top 10. There was no vocals, no verses, it's just pure instrumental energy. Now, it's not exactly prog in the strictest sense, but it gets an honorary badge for breaking the rules and charging full speed into sonic adventure. Top of the Pops didn't quite know what to do with it, but it proved that instrumental folk rock could, even if just for a moment, own the spotlight. Then, from across the Atlantic, Canada's own Rush took the stage with their landmark track, The Spirit of Radio. Now, this was a love letter to FM broadcasting and a sharp critique of the music industry's increasing commercialisation. This track was a tightrope walk between classic Rush complexity and newfound accessibility. Even in its radio-friendly form, it's still jam-packed with time signature changes, unexpected reggae breakdowns, blistering guitar work, and of course, Geddy Lee's unmistakable vocals searing above it all. Now, it crashed into the UK top 20 in 1980 and marked a rare moment where serious prog credentials collided with chart success. For a band known for their sprawling epics and sprawling concept albums, this was a miracle of musical compression, still sounding massive in under 5 minutes, and it remains one of the most celebrated tracks to this day. Next up, Colin Blunstone, the haunting voice once fronting the Zombies. And he brought something much more intimate and delicate into the charts. His 1972 solo track, I Don't Believe in Miracles, is art pop at its most emotionally exposed. It was crafted with a lush arrangement by none other than Alan Parsons, and was penned by Russ Ballard from Argent. And this song glows with orchestration and quiet melancholy. It may not scream prog, but its refined textures and thoughtful lyrics really lift it in a way above standard ballad territory. It's that kind of song that sits in the cracks between genres, unclassifiable, but quietly powerful. Now on to something a little more hypnotic. Enter Donovan and his swirling esoteric track Hurdy-Gurdy Man. This was released in 1968 and it's a landmark of psychedelic folk and a clear stepping stone to early prog. Donovan's voice floats like a spell over fuzzed air guitars and cryptic lyrics. And those guitars? Well, that's Jimmy Page, John Paul Jones and John Bonham. Yes, Led Zeppelin before Led Zeppelin. The song's hypnotic drone, mystical imagery and unconventional production really made it one of the strangest records ever to become a genuine hit. It's got this mythic mysteriousness to it and much closer to prog rock roots than many actually realise. The past and future collided here in one 3-minute chant.
Just then when the hurdy-gurdy man came singing songs of love.
In 1981, we get a more synth-drenched take on prog ambition, this time with Ultravox and their monumental single Vienna. Now, this is the song that famously didn't make it to number one, held off that top spot by Joe Dolce's Shut Up in Your Face of all things, but it had a legacy that far outlasted the chart trivia. Baroque synths, thunderous piano chords and Midge's glacially emotive vocals turned this into a gothic opera for the MTV generation. Sure, it's synth pop on the surface, but its scale, mood and ambition are pure prog in spirit. Now this is where progressive rock shook hands with the new romantics and gave birth to a new kind of art rock drama. Let's go back once more to one of the great cult favourites, this time Family's Weaver's Answer. Now, it may not have been a chart smash, but it was performed on Top of the Pops and it left a serious impression. Roger Chapman's distinctive, warbling, gravel vocals combined with strange meters and a vivid storytelling made this track feel like a short, surreal film. It's pure progressive storytelling, cinematic and unpredictable, and theatrical to the core. And he's helped define Family's distinctive sound, winning them a whole new loyal cult following that saw them as Britain's weirdest and most wonderful rock export. Classical Gas by Mason Williams is a virtuosic blend of classic guitar technique and pop urgency. This was released in 1968 and it brought fingerstyle mastery into living rooms everywhere. No lyrics, no theatrics, just sheer skill and clever arrangement. The orchestral backing lifts it into something close to cinematic grandeur. Call it orchestral pop, proto-prog, or even classical crossover, whatever you want to name it. It's one of those rare moments where musicianship alone was enough to conquer the charts and to get a top of the pop slot. Then came Queen with their fantastic first major hit, Seven Seas of Rhye. Now, originally, if you remember, this was a short instrumental on their debut album, Queen 1, but the full version exploded onto Top of the Pops in 1974, backed by Freddie Mercury's theatrical vocals and Brian May's signature guitar flourishes. It's glam, it's camp, and it's got just enough Tolkien-style fantasy to earn a place in prog-adjacent territory. Imagine Milan's piano arpeggios, bombastic energy. It's the sort of sound of a band taking its first big leap into stardom and doing it with flourish that scream progressive excess in the best possible way. Rounding things off this time, we jump to XTC, the art pop legends from Swindon. Their 1982 hit, Senses Working Overtime, is full of wonky charm, clever construction, and a chorus that sticks with you like glue. It was built on odd rhythms and a structure that really never quite settles where you expect. It's medieval, modern and melodic all at once. Prog pop? New wave with a twist? Whatever label you stick on it, it's a brilliant example of how a complex song can still be irresistibly catchy, and it was the biggest chart success for the band. So there you have it. Fiddles, flutes, hulls and futuristic synths. These were the moments when Top of the Pops let something a little more cerebral, a little more adventurous, sneak in to steal the show. Do you remember any of them? From Jigga Jig to XTC, these tracks weren't always built for mass appeal, but for a few golden weeks, they were right there at the very top. This has been Everybody's on Top of the Progs, a celebration of those glorious outliers who slipped into the charts and really left us wondering how they ever got there in the first place. Let me know in the comments, do you remember seeing any of these performances on Top of the Pops? Or were there other prog rock or art pop moments you think I should spotlight in a future episode? Let me know. Now, the video on screen here is the first one that I shot in this series. Watch that one next, and I'll see you over there.